Now, if you see the map, okay, now we have got eventually, now we'll go geographically. If you see the map, this was the Magad Samraj, okay. Now, this was a period when we have also discussed during the later Vedic period that there were different concepts, different names given to the king. Okay, like for example, Eastern people call the king as a Ekrat, okay, or the Samrat, and that is why we'll see that Ashok was called as the Ashok Samrat, Samrat Ashok. Okay, some people, especially in the northern India, okay, would be calling the king as a Rajan. Okay, in the southern or especially in the central region, they would be calling something different. So there were different names given to the different regions where there was a king. Okay, now here in the Mauryan period, now Mauryan period is the Mauryan dynasty is also from the Magad period only. Okay, so here first we saw it was Haranyaka. Second, it was Shishunaga. Third, it was Nanda. And the fourth was Mauryan. Now the Shishunaga dynasty, now if you see Haranyaka dynasty was a Kshatriya dynasty. Shishunaga dynasty, okay, it was not completely Kshatriya, but yes, some rulers were Kshatriyas. Okay, Nanda dynasty was the Shudra dynasty. Okay, and again the Mauryan dynasty. Now the Mauryan dynasty would be seeing with the contemporary age when we would be seeing that Jainism and Buddhism is completely flourished in holistic way. Okay, so here Jainism and the Buddhism would be flourishing according to and parallelly with the trade communication. Okay, the preachers of the Jainism and the Buddhism would be going to the other states. They would be preaching the teachings of the Mahavir and the Buddha to the other external peoples. Okay, and also the external travelers would be traveling to India. Okay, and studying about the society of the India, studying about the administration of the India. Okay, so if you look towards the map, okay, up till the Nanda dynasty, the Magadha Empire used to be this red area. Okay, or especially up till here only. Okay, and after the Chandragupta Maurya, okay, you will see that Chandragupta Maurya, Dakshinapatha was also been semi-conquered. Okay, semi-conquered means here the trade relations would be flourishing, but they would not be fully conquered. Okay, so here the upper part of the Indian subcontinent will be fully conquered during the Chandragupta Mauryan period. Now, this is evident that during the Chandragupta Mauryan period, the Chandragupta Maurya majorly focused upon the northwestern region. Why? Because you will see that this was a period when the Chandragupta Maurya will see the foreign invaders majorly during this period. Why? Because we'll see that during the initial phase of the Mahajanapadas, we are seeing the Persian and the Greek invaders. Okay, the Persian from the most northern side and the Greeks from the southern northern side. Okay, so here you will see that the Greeks would be having high impact on this Gujarat region, and the Persian would be having the high impact on this region, especially where we'll see the Takshashila University. Okay, and this university would be also on the line of the Silk Route trade. Okay, and that is why this region becomes of much more prominence, where it is a hub of education. Secondly, it is also a hub of a trading for the northern regions. Okay, now here this is the period when Chandragupta Maurya would be concentrating upon the economy also. Why? Because he is being assisted by the economist Kautilya. Okay, so he would be concentrating upon the trade aspects, and the trade would be majorly concentrated through the northern or the Uttarapatha. Okay, and this was the scenario. Okay, this was the scenario during the Chandragupta period, that is during the 300 BCE. Okay, now these are the tributary region. Okay, this is tributary region which is just carried out for the transportation purpose, but this is the official empire. The red area is the official empire during the Chandragupta Maurya period. Now if you see the Mauryan period or the Mauryan Empire, okay, after the Ashoka, okay, now if you see in the previous slide, okay, this Kalinga region was not been acquired, this Tamil Nadu region was not acquired, and this was the semi acquired. Okay, but if you will see in the next map, okay, you will see that this region is totally acquired, and here also it is majorly acquired, just leaving the Chola Empire. Okay, Chola and Pandya. Okay, so here this was only possible due to the Kalinga War. Kalinga War during Ashoka period. Ashoka period, who was also after the Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, so when we study, we need to study through the mapping. Okay, now you can see the extent of Ashoka would be growing much more after the Chandragupta period. So you will be analyzing that the Magadha Empire grew, the Magadha Empire flourished during the Mauryan period. Okay, so you can say yes, the economy became more stronger, the polity became even more stronger as compared to the Haryanka, Shishunaga and Nanda Dynasty. Okay, now after this we'll study one by one very completely. Okay, now the Chandragupta Maurya is said to be the founder of the Mauryan Empire. Now Chandragupta was a disciple of Kautilya. Okay, Kautilya, that is Chanakya. He was a student of Chanakya. Now Chanakya was economist. Okay, by caste he was Brahmin. Okay, and that is why we'll see that he will curse the Nanda. Now there is much deeper story in that, and it's quite interesting. So it was been observed that he was being insulted in the meeting of the management or the higher administration. Okay, and during that time he will be cursing the Nanda king, that your empire will degrade like anything, and it would be me who would be providing the new king to this empire, Magadha Empire. Okay, and this curse came into the reality when he got one able student and highly active student, that is Chandragupta. So Chandragupta was being totally trained by the Chanakya or the Kautilya throughout the student life. Okay, we can say that the Chanakya was the guru and the Chandragupta was the disciple of the Chanakya. And this is how now, as the Chanakya knew every know-how of this Mauryan period or the Nanda Dynasty. Okay, because he was the priest in the Nanda Dynasty, right? So he knew every sort of the corner of the Nanda Dynasty, how it can be grown, how it can be descended also. Okay, so here you will see that the Chanakya would be guiding Chandragupta Maurya how you should acquire the throne. Okay, and Chandragupta Maurya became successful king to acquire it from the Nanda Dynasty. Okay, now this was the period when the Kautilya would be running a whole empire's legacy. Okay, how the administration should be carried out, how the polity should be governed, how the economy should be governed, everything, every of the plan was being planned by the Kautilya. But who was running the government? It was Chandragupta Maurya. So you can say that the policy making and the constitutional drafting was being done by the Chanakya, and the implementation part was left on the Chandragupta Maurya. So this was evident, very evident through the facts of the Arthashastra. Now Arthashastra was a literature written by the Kautilya. Arthashastra. Okay, it is Shastra Okay, now during this Magad Empire, we'll see that Purana Sutra, okay, Sutra and Shastras are two different things. Okay, what are Shastra? Shastra means there are some of the rules and the frameworks that are enlisted in the text. And what is Sutra? Sutra means some of the, rules, not exactly the rules, but yes, some of the principles that needs to be followed while handling the empire. Okay, so there were Purana Sutra and Purana Shastras, okay, which guided the kings, or which guided the kings of Mahajanapadas, how they need to follow their dharma. Okay, and that is why we'll see that during this period the literary evidences from the sutras and the shastras will tell us that how Chandragupta Maurya acquired or expanded his territory up till the Indian subcontinent, up till the present day Baluchistan. Okay, and here you will see that the trade grew and flourished in